My name is Maxwell Dalrymple. I'm from Section B. The first question today is, what causes a firm to explore international expansion, and when in a firm's life should it explore international expansion? Right now, there is a big cultural push for companies to go global. Trade borders are way more open than they've ever been. More companies are constantly going global, and many investors put a push on companies to go global as well. In addition, the rapid development of technology has made it so that businesses from all across the world can interact way more easily and way more conveniently, and are all a lot closer. And so, with all these factors in play, there's a lot of pressure to go global. As for when in a firm's life a company should go global, the article we read poses 3 questions that help determine if a company should go global and when they should. And the first is, are there potential benefits to the company? The second is, does the company have the necessary management skills to do it? And the third is, will the benefits outweigh the costs? And so when looking at the first question and determining the potential benefits, it's important to think about the timeline of when these benefits will occur. If the company won't benefit for a while, it's probably not in the company's best interest to expand immediately. They should probably put it off for a while. In addition, when addressing the second question as to whether the company has the management skills to do it, it's really important to look at how management has handled decisions in the past, how management has handled expansion and growth and profit in the past. And when looking at these things, thinking about if the company goes global, how will management handle that decision in the future? How will management handle the potential benefits that we get from going global and from going international? And thirdly and lastly, when looking at the last question, will the benefits outweigh the costs? The overarching question really is whether or not the company is going to profit, whether or not the company is going to benefit from this decision overall. And so if the company doesn't have the money, if there's skepticism from the inside and outside about whether the company is going to be able to finance this decision, then it's probably not the right time. However, if it's clear that the company is really going to benefit from this, that the benefits outweigh the costs, that the company is going to be able to afford it, and they're going to profit tremendously enough that it's worth doing, then the company probably should go global. And that's kind of how you know it's the right time. The second question asks, which of the 4 commentators offers the most persuasive recommendation for data clear's problem? So out of the 4 arguments I read, I thought Allison Sanders' argument that data clear needs to clarify their rationale for expansion and consider other tactical options was the most compelling. While the other commentators addressed the relevant concern that data clear would be swallowed by the competition, Sanders argued that going global would be really just a reactive decision rather than a strategic one. The article painted the tone of the meeting between Greg and the executives and the team as kind of a panic mode. That being said, all of their attempts at strategic planning were really reactive rather than strategic. Additionally, Sanders argued that data clear is debating the idea of globalization using numbers that really weren't true and were really underestimated. And you can tell by Tom's reaction in the meeting that that's true. Their numbers weren't really well researched. They kind of came out of nowhere, and they were definitely underestimated when considering all the costs of globalization, as Greg found out when he was talking to his friend from school. Sanders also made a great argument that the company wasn't looking at enough options and was thinking very black and white and inside of the box. There are other ways that companies can grow than by going global as a defensive position, and it's really an expensive defensive position to take to go global. So consequently, they need to look at other options, other tactical solutions that aren't as obvious or expensive.